we're almost done with the 2 classes, right? So in these 2 classes, we have learned what is meant by software, and yesterday we have learned what is meant by software development lifecycle, the types of models available, all these things we learned yesterday, right? So we see in waterfall model and spiral model also. Today we are going to see Agile model. It's very important model, guys. So please try to listen the class carefully. But before going to the class, I would like to ask a few questions. Can anyone explain about the software development lifecycle which we discussed yesterday? What is meant by software development lifecycle? Why we are using it?
Yeah, Shekhar here. So software development lifecycle involves various phases to complete the project from end to end. So it's like a collection of requirements, feasibility, and feasibility is nothing but converting functional requirements into technical requirements, as we know that SRC, software requirement specifications, SRS, sorry, and followed by coding and testing and deployment. Deployment is nothing but installation in the target server, the developed code, and also the maintenance.
Okay.
So these are the phases involved for developing a software. We have two types. One is um, sequential and iterative. So in the sequential, we are going to use waterfall method. So just it is like a phase by phase, and which is not suitable for complex projects because entire requirements will be gathered at once before starting the project. So coming to iterative, this kind of spiral and agile, we have a couple of methodologies. So in this, the project can be divided into a couple of modules, like 4 to 5 modules, depends on the length of the project. So in which we can deliver the product as modules, module A, module B, or module 1, module 2, module 3, like that. So all the phases will be completed for module to module. Say for example, module A, requirement gather and feasibility and coding, testing, deployment, followed by module B, module C, like that.
Okay. Good. Excellent. Okay. Today we are going to see V model and Agile model, and what are the advantages and disadvantages of the model, and what is the difference between Agile and Waterfall model. These are the three topics mainly we are going to discuss today. As I said that yesterday, first 35-40 minutes we are going to see all these things, theoretical concept and all these things, and last 10 minutes I will ask the quiz on these topics what I am explaining today. So please listen carefully. Everyone should answer those questions in the chat box. Okay, by that I know who are listening, who are not listening, right? So please listen carefully. Okay, this model is verification model, V model. V model is also known as verification and validation model. But before going to the model, you should know the what is the difference between the verification and validation. What is the difference between verification and validation in generic meaning?
To check some details, it's called verification, like the details, and we want to know something,
Okay, then what is meant by validation?
whether it is correct or not.
Yes,
Validation downloading. It's installation of the product.
no, not like that. Validation is not like installation. What Vinod said is correct. Verification is nothing but we are checking the documents, like as I said that the customer will give CRS document, and our software people, business analyst and software architects all together and will verify the document whether the CRS customer requirement specification is feasible to develop or not. We have to verify. That is called verification. Okay, it will be done before development of the product. Validation will be done after development of product. We will check What developed software is developed as per the requirements. Okay, are you getting my point? Initially, verification is nothing but the customer will give, I need the login page, registration base, and so on frame, right? So at that time they will check, yes, it will be feasible to do these login page in certain scenarios or not. They will check it. That is called verification. Okay, validation is nothing but after developing the product, whether they are reaching the expected functionality or not. It will do by executing. That is called validation. That is the difference between verification and validation. Here you can see this model came up in order to overcome the drawback of waterfall model. Here testing starts from requirement stage itself. Okay, what is the disadvantage of waterfall model? Once we are into the next step, we are not able to revert back to the previous step. That is the main disadvantage, right? Is it or not? Right, this is the
Yes.
disadvantage of waterfall model, but this issue is overcome in spiral model and in verification validation model. But then what is the difference between spiral and V model? Because in both models the waterfall drawbacks are overcome. That what is the main difference between V model and spiral model? In spiral model, we are going to divide the entire project in the modules like A, B, C, D, and the entire life cycle will be executed for the each module, and man resource is more required because we have to test A feature once A is developed, once B is developed, once C is developed, once D is developed. In all the modules again we need to test A. This is very difficult and it is very complex to test it, right? So to resolve the issues, the V model came up to the picture. Verification and V model having the parallel testing from scratch onwards, like from requirement onwards, the parallel testing is going to be work. Here you can see what is this CRS document. What is meant by CRS document?
Customer specification requirement.
Customer requirements software
Customer requirement specification, not software.
specification.
Whenever the software company is getting this customer requirement specification from the customer, immediately it will be sent for the acceptance testing. Okay, immediately it's sent for the acceptance testing, because here the testing is done parallelly. Here developers are doing their work, meanwhile the testers are also involved in testing from the scratch, even that application is not developed. But in spiral model, not like that. If that A module is developed completely, then only we are involved in the testing. Is it right? So, but in verification model, besides we are working on testing. Okay. This CRS was sent to the testers to test it. Once the CRS is converted into the SRS, what is meant by SRS?
Software requirement sequence.
Specification. Design and development of prototype. Design and development of prototype is nothing but, yesterday we spoke about the example of apartment, right? Without construction, before they will show the how it looks like in the poster or banner, right? That is called a prototype, how that software looks like. Once that is developed, it will be tested, it will be sent to the tester to test it. At that time he will test system testing, test prototype and defects, and send it to the back. Okay, what it means, once the design prototype sent to the tester will have a look on it, on the design what they sent, and they will check it. If there is any defect, they will send that back to the developer. Okay, next one is client review it and approve it. It's nothing but once there is changes in this prototype, he will send the defects to developer and he will send that report to client directly, because he has to approve the changes in the design, right? The client has to approve because the project is from client. If the client is okay to change that requirement, then we can change it. It's not an issue. So we have to take an approval from client, right? So once they approved, Then what is our process? Design is done. And in design, what are the things we are having? I already explained yesterday, two types of designs are there. What are they?
High level and low level design.
Sorry, Harish, I'm not able to hear your voice. Please speak loud.
High level and low level design.
Yes, exactly. HLD and LLD. HLD is nothing but a high level how the apartment looks like or how this application look like. But coming to the low LLD, LLD is nothing but low level design. It's nothing but a how the inside view will be there. That is called low level design. It's nothing but in depth. High level is nothing but surface level. That is called high level design and low level design. You are done with requirement specification, you are done with design, you are done with high level design and all these things. Then what is the next process? Development, right? The development is called coding. The development is called coding. Once the coding is done, they will go into the white box testing or unit testing. What is meant by white box testing? Can anyone tell? Of course, in further classes, we are going to learn white box, black box testing types and all the techniques. But just for this model purpose, I'm going to ask. I'm going to tell in brief about white box testing. What is meant by white box testing? What is the difference between white money and black money?
White money is the legal money that we earns, and legal money is the corrupted.
Okay. Okay. Simply we are calling it as the white money is called a legal money or else which we are paying tax to the government. That is called white money. Black money is nothing but which is earned without any proofs, right? Without any proofs. That is called black money. Here white box testing is nothing but we are doing the testing with the proofs. In certain area this code is failing. If for loop is there, with the in the for loop that logic is failing, we have to do the testing. The testing is not done by the testers, it's done by the developers only, white box testing, because we don't know how that person write the code, right? We just checking the functionality of the application, but we don't know what inside is going on, right? That is called white box testing. It was done by the developer. Unit testing is done by the developer, is nothing but units wise, like module wise he will test on it. Then coming to the black box testing is done by the testers, because as I said that black money is nothing but a without proof we are earning the money, right? Without proof is nothing but it's not legal, right? So like that black money, black box testing is nothing but we don't know what inside logic is going on, but we just know the functionality is not working. What that functionality due to some for loop issue inside the code, we don't know. I just explained it. Due to for loop issue inside the code, we are not able to log in even though you are giving correct username and correct password, and that you guys don't know what failing inside the code, but you just know that it's not login, it's not equal to the expected output. That's it. You just report that thing only. You don't know what the logic fail inside the code. That is called black box testing. Okay, it's very important. You will get the question at the time of interview on it. And next one is, okay, all these are the theoretical part which I explained. In the first stage, the client send the CRS both to developers. The client send the CRS to but let's take this is the client, send CRS to both developer and customer tester. The developer translate the CRS into SRS. The tester do the following tests on the CRS. What the tester do on the CRS? They review the CRS. What is meant by review? What he will do on it? Conflicts in the requirement, missing requirement, wrong requirements. This thing also called as verification. Review CRS is nothing but verification. What is meant by verification? He is verifying, the tester is verifying the conflicts, missing requirements and wrong requirement and all these things. And second one is write acceptance test plan. Acceptance test plan is nothing but if the requirements are accepted, what we need to write. what cases we are going to write, what suits we are going to write. All these things can be written in this test plan. Test cases is nothing but writing the test cases. Okay. The testing team reviews the CRS and identifies the mistakes and defects and then send it to the development for correcting the bugs. The development update the CRS and continues developing the CRS simultaneously. What he is telling, customer sends CRS to both developer and tester. Once the tester received CRS, he will review all the document and he will send back to the developer. Once the developer received, if there is any bugs, he will fix it. That's what he is saying in this point. Okay. And in the next says the SRS is sent to the testing team for the review. A developer starts building the HLD product. The tester do the following tests on SRS. In the next says the SRS sent to the tester. Meanwhile, the developer start doing the coding. At the time, what the tester test it? Tester will test it SRS document. How to verify the SRS? He will review the SRS against the CRS document. All the requirements which are available in the CRS is converted into the SRS, or are there any one is left? These things can be discussed. And CRS not converted properly to SRS. Okay, whether it is converted properly or not, that is the major thing. In this phase, the tester is going to test. System test plan and system test cases is nothing but about the system. What is meant by system? What is meant by system testing? Can anyone tell? System testing is nothing but, yes, is anyone speaking? No. Okay, fine, cool. Here system testing is nothing but we are checking the end-to-end flow, the compatibility of the laptop, compatibility of the platform, compatibility of the laptop, and the network and the memory and the end-to-end logic functionality of the application. End-to-end we're checking. That is called system testing. Okay. And in the next stage, we are done with the SRS document verification. In the next stage, the developer start building the LLD of the product. Once the developer start the LLD development is nothing but low level design, the tester will do testing on the previous step. That what is the previous step? HLD. Review HLD, write integration plans, write integration test cases. Integration is nothing but integration is nothing but adding two modules, adding two units. For example, yesterday we already discussed the registration page and login page. If you want to log in, first you need to register, right? You getting my point? If you want to log in, you should need registration page to register. So like that, the integration is working on. And how to handle requirement changes in the V model. Whenever there is changes requirement, the same procedure is continuous and the document will be updated. Same procedure will be follows whenever the changes are required in this V and V model. Okay, what is V and V model? Can anyone tell now? What is V and V model?
Verification and validation.
Verification and validation, that's it.
No. Verification and validation model. In that we have some stages over there.
Okay, the main point what you need to tell is the V and V model is a verification and validation model. This model overcomes the drawbacks of sequential models. And third point is here the testing is done and testing will done parallelly with the developers. These are the 3 points you need to remember at the time of answering the question in the interview. Okay. And here we can see the advantages of V and V model. What are the advantages of V and V model? Testing starts in very early stage of the product development, which avoids downward flow of defects. Like downward flow is nothing but it is the issue in the waterfall model. Testing is involved in every stage of product development. And third one is deliverables are parallel or simultaneous. As developers are building SRS, testers are testing CRS, the previous version. Test total investment is less as there is no downward flow of defects, thus there is less and no rework. But what is the drawback? Initial investment is more because from initial onwards the testers are going to test. So that is called initial investment is more. And next one is more documentation work, because if the tester tests the SRS and CRS document, sorry, the tester tests the SRS and CRS document. If there is any bugs, then we need to change the review and change the document again and again and again, right? So that's why we are having more documentation. In which applications we are going to use this verification and V model? For long-term projects, for complex applications, when the customer is expecting a very high quality product. Okay, these are called verification and V model. Are you guys understand clearly on this model, or you have any doubt on it? If you don't have doubt, then we'll go with Agile model. You can ask if you have doubts on the V model now. If don't have, we'll go with Agile model. Okay, good. No one have doubts. And
Raju,
what
I
is,
have one doubt.
yes, go on.
So here you said sometimes testing done by development team.
Sometimes not. Every time the white box testing is done by the developers only.
So that means here we are not involving in.
Yes, we are not involved.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Okay. You have to remember this point. White box testing is done by the developers. Black box testing is done by the testers. Okay, because you don't know what is inside the code, right? For example, this MS Word is there. You have a knowledge on checking whether by clicking this insert we are able to see the tools under the insert or not. That is the knowledge you are having, but you don't know what the code is written to click this one. Like what I can say, for int space I equal to 0, like that we are having code inside this. Whatever language they developed, I think they developed in the .NET. Whatever the code inside the application, we don't know. Are you getting my point?
Yes, I'm getting.
Okay. And next one is Agile methodology. It's very important. Please mark it as very important. They will ask what is Agile methodology. If you put fake experience, or else if you are going with your real experience, if you are going for manual testing, first they will ask what model you are used, what methodology used in your previous company. At that time, uh, mm, sure, please try to answer Agile methodology and prepare interview questions on the Agile methodology. Okay, it will help a lot you all guys. And next one is Agile methodology, meaning a practice that promotes continuous iteration of development and testing. It's like a continuous iteration of development and testing throughout the software development lifecycle of the project. In the Agile model, in software testing, both development and testing activities are concurrent, unlike the Waterfall model. Okay, so then what is the difference between Agile model and spiral model? In spiral model also, it's a continuous iteration for the different units, right? So then what is the difference between Agile methodology and what I can say, spiral model? Can anyone tell? As per these points, Agile methodology is also telling that a continuous iterations of the every modules. But as a spiral also we are having same, but what is the difference between both? Okay, fine. Here, Agile methodology is nothing but whenever the customer reaches that to build a project, you need to tell that this project will be developed by the 6 months or 5 months or else 1 year. It is very difficult to wait that customer to see that product live for 12 months or 8 months or 6 months, because the market will be outdated if the time duration is more. At that situation, at that time, in that situation, we are going to use Agile methodology. Agile methodology is nothing but for every 15 days or every release, we are going to deliver that product in the live. Let us take an example of this Zomato application. To develop that Zomato application, we are taking 3 months of time to develop that application to the customer. At that time, within the 3 months, the competitors like Swiggy and all these things may develop is better than the Zomato. So then what is the use of putting the Zomato business in the market? It's not used, right? So at that time, Agile methodology uses, and for every 15 days of work will be posted into the live. In the first 15 days, we are going to develop the restaurants, multi-restaurants, e-commerce frames, and login page, and location, and delivery boy details. These things we are going to develop in the first 15 days. So no need to wait until that entire project is completed for 3 months of duration, right? So every 50 months, whatever work you done, you are putting into the live. By that, the customer can see, the client can see the project progress, what is going on their project. Are you getting what I'm going to tell? Or
Yes.
not? But in spiral model, it's not like that. It's the iterations is going on. But what is the thing? The difference? It's not deployed. The iterations are going on, but it's not deployed. But that iteration is happening till testing. Requirement, design, coding, testing. These are the 4 things we are going to do in the spiral. But here what we are going to do in agile model: requirement, design, coding, testing, deployment, maintenance. All these things will go into the every sprint. Okay, sprint is nothing but a 15 days of work, or else 1 month of work is calling it as a sprint. Okay, in agile model, everything is in the form of tickets. What is meant by ticket? You are going for movie. At that time, you have to buy a ticket through online or offline. Then what is the ticket means? Why you are using the ticket? Is nothing but the ticket gives a slot for you to enjoy the movie for 2.5 hours, right? Like in the company, software company also, ticket is nothing but it's a work what you are going to do today and what you are going to do tomorrow. These things can be splitted as a tickets to understand very clearly for the employees. Getting my point or not? Okay, cool. And here let's see few differences between agile model and waterfall model. Agile methodology definitions: agile methodology proposes incremental and iterative approach to the software design. And the major differences are the agile process in software engineering is broken into individual models. Okay, but it's not broken into the individual models. And agile model is considered unstructured compared to the waterfall model, and waterfall model is secure because they are plan oriented, because it was structured. We already know that once it is downwards, we can't revert back. It was planned and structured, but agile is not like that. We are having the flexibility. Error can be fixed in the middle of the project, but it can't be happen in the waterfall model. Development process is iterative. The project is executed in short 2 to 4 weeks iteration. That's what I said. Planning is very less, but the planning is needed. Testers and developers are work together. Testers work separately from the developers. In agile model, testers and developers are work together, but in waterfall model they work separately, because it was already planned and everything is testing is started once the development is completed. But it's not like that. It will be happen simultaneously. That's why both are works together. And next one is following other phases in agile models or as follows: requirement analysis, design, coding, testing, deployment, and maintenance. You don't confuse that here having the construction, feedback. These are the another 10. Okay, these are the another terms. That's it. You can use the coding also here. Coding and maintenance, not an issue. Total 6 phases are there in the software SDLC models. What are they? Requirement analysis, design, coding, testing, deployment, and maintenance. Okay, and these are the some of the agile testing methods. The first one is Scrum, second one is Crystal, and third one is dynamic software development method, DSDM, and next one is feature driven development, FDD, and next one is lean software development and extreme programming. These are the 6 methods we are having. The mainly software companies are using the Scrum. Okay, what is meant by Scrum? Scrum is nothing but there will be a Scrum Master who can coordinate tester, developer, business analyst, product owner, and all these things. Why that Scrum have that role to coordinate all? Because there is there is no flexibility to reach to all the people for us, right? For example, you have some issue with the code which you have written for the developer while testing. At that time you should reach the developer, right? So sometimes the developer may not listen your words. You need someone who can manage the work together with the developer and tester, to make the coordination, to make the communication, to make the transparency. The Scrum Master is there who can deal with all the persons. That is called Scrum Master. There is a stand-up calls for the Scrum Masters every day. In that we need to discuss about the sprint work. Sprint work is nothing but, as I said, that 12 days of work, like 15 days of work is called as the sprint. We are going to discuss about how the sprint is planning. What are the features we are going to develop in that particular sprint? All these things are going to be explained in the Scrum meeting. That is called Scrum. Okay. Here you can see like this, it will be there. Okay. And Scrum is a agile development process focused primarily on ways to manage the tasks in team-based development conditions. There are 3 roles in it, and their responsibilities are Scrum Master, Product Owner, and Scrum Team. Okay. What are they? Scrum Master is nothing but it's a master team, arrange the meeting and remove obstacles for the process. Product Owner makes the product backlog, priorities the delay, and is responsible for distribution of functionality on each repetition. Scrum Team is nothing but manages its work and organize the work to complete the sprint or cycle. This is called Scrum. Okay. In agile methodology, focused primarily on way to manage tasks in team-based development conditions. That is called Scrum. Okay, clear about the Scrum. And next one is Crystal. There are 3 concepts of this Crystal. All these things are not important. Only Scrum is important for your guys to get some knowledge. I am taking all these methods. Okay, no need to learn all these things. Just remember this Scrum is more than enough. And if there is any these method using whenever you are applying for the jobs, in the job description they mentioned, you can go through and you can learn it. Okay, you can recall the concepts of the different methods. Okay, that's it. Crystal is nothing but there are 3 concepts is there: chartering, cycle delivery, and wrap up. Multiple activities are involved in this phase, such as making a development team, performing feasibility analysis, and developing plans. Okay, here in this Crystal part, what will be there is the development team performing some feasibility analysis, and it's developing the plans on it. And next method is cyclic delivery. Under this, 2 more cycles are there. The first one is team update the release plan, on which date we are going to release, what are the changes involved in that release, and all these things will come to the cycle delivery. Integrated product delivered to the user. Integrated product is nothing but in first sprint you have delivered something. In second sprint, if you want to deliver other feature, you should integrate that other feature with the previous one. That is called cyclic delivery. Wrap up is nothing but according to the user environment, this phase performs deployment and post deployment. This phase will be Crystal phase will be there before the deployment and post deployment also. Okay, this is called Crystal method. And next one is Dsdm, is a rapid application development strategy for software development and gives an agile project distribution structure. Okay, the essential features of Dsdm are that user must be actively connected, team have been given the right to make decisions, and this technique is used in Dsdm are time boxing, mask for rules, and prototyping. Total, this Dsdm project contains 7 stages. The first one is pre-project, feasibility study, business study, functional model iteration, design and build iteration, implementation, and post-project. These are the major stages involved in the Dsdm. Okay, and the next one is feature-driven development. All these things are not important. Again I'm telling the thing what you are going to learn. This is what is meant by agile model, how it is different from spiral model, or else how it is different from sequential model, and what is the Scrum method in this agile model. These are the things you are going to learn. Okay, and next one is feature driven development, is a method of focusing of designing and building. Okay, for every method there is some speciality, like that in FDD we are going to focus on more designing and coding. That is the speciality of feature driven development. Okay, FDD describes the small steps of the work that should be obtained separately per function. Okay. This feature driven development is just small steps of work that should be obtained separately for the functions. Like function wise, it will go on for the design and building. And next one is lean software development. Okay, what is the specialty of the FDD? Focuses on designing and building. What is the focus of specialty of lean software development? Follow the principle just in time production is nothing but in time. As I said that we are going to deploy the product in 1 month. You have to deploy entire the product within the 1 month only. That is the lean software development. Okay, and next one is extreme programming. Extreme programming is nothing but the type of methodology when the customers are constantly changing the demands and requirements. Okay, whenever the customer is changing the requirements constantly and frequently, then we are going to use the extreme programming when they are not sure about the system's performance, but we are using the extreme programming. Okay, and next one and last but not least for the today topic is when to use the Agile model when the frequent changes are required, because Agile will not Waterfall will not works here. Spiral will works, but a little bit problem with that on the investment. When a high qualified experienced team is available, when the customer is ready to have a meeting with the software team all the time. But what is the beauty of the Agile model is the customer will interact with the company and the team who are working on the project every time. Okay, when the project size is small. These are the things we are going to learn today. Are you guys clear about the today class or have any doubt?
Raju, when the project size is smaller and Scrum,
Yes, yes.
I think it should be complex maybe.
Sorry.
When the project size is small, the last point, when to use Agile model. The
Yes,
last point,
yes.
when project is, I think we are going to use Agile methodology for complex projects, right? Large projects.
I'm not getting
If
your
I'm not wrong.
point. What you are asking? You are asking that the Agile model is used only for complex projects. You are asking.
Yeah.
It's not like that. Actually, the project
Oh,
is small. Then only we are using the Agile model. Of course, you may use for complex projects also, but there is no use of using Agile model. As I said that what is meant by Agile model? What is meant by Agile model?
yeah.
Shekhar,
Agile model.
what
Yeah,
is
yeah.
meant by Agile?
For every 15 days or 30 days, we are going to deliver the project. I mean, product.
15 days or 12 days based on their sprint planning, they are taking the day's
Yes, sprint
decision.
planning.
Okay,
Yeah.
this called it sprint.
Yes.
So mainly their focus is on small project only.
Oh,
Then you are using the Agile model. For example, let's look at it's a complex project. If it is complex project, it's very difficult to wait that much of time to take it, because every 15 days we are going to deploying, right? So these 15 days
yeah.
you are going to developing particular features, and
Yeah.
later 15 days you are going to deploy another feature. At that time, complex project is nothing but we are having lot of modules. You have to integrate that modules every time, right? So we are
Yes.
finding lot of defects while integrating. Are you getting my point?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Here this point not telling that it's not used for the complex projects. Here what is telling, uh, if the project is small, then Agile method will benefited more.
Okay.
Are you getting
Yeah, yeah. Yes, Raju. Thank
clear? I am not able to hear your voice.
you. Yeah, yes, Raju. And it is clear.
Okay, now I am going to give only 2 questions. Please give your answers on the 2 questions. After that, we can close the session, and tomorrow we can discuss other topics. Okay. What is, give your own definition. Don't copy on net. Okay. You already led lesson classes. What is V model? That is the first question.